Hi everyone, it's Kay of Kay's Creative Home. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be working with this Shamrock wreath frame from Dollar Tree. And I have this beautiful plaid mesh I got, I believe at home at the end of season sale. So it's actually a Christmas mesh, but when I looked at it, I was like, oh man, this looks just like the plaid you would find in an Irish kilt. So I'm going to take this and wrap it around my shamrock for my wreath. I was measuring the wreath frame while I was talking just to see about how wide it was, and it's about 2 inches, give or take. Because remember, Dollar Tree frames aren't exact; they're not perfectly made the same all over. So, what I want to do is cut some strips of this and make it as if it were a ribbon. And so I measured out 4 feet, and yeah, I'm getting a little tangled here. Don't get that apart. So I measured out about 4 feet in length, and it's 10 inches wide, so I decided to cut like a little past the 3-inch mark to make my strips of ribbon. Now where I am, it is cold outside, so I will not be going outside to try to burn this mesh. Not even sure if I could anyway. So what I'm going to do is make a little strip of glue, just like I'm doing there, and that way when I cut it, I'm going to let that cool a minute, and then I'm going to cut it later, and it won't continue to unravel because that glue will stop it. So I'm going to do the same thing going down the length where I'm going to cut my strips. I decided to make it a little wider, almost 4 inches each. So I'm just doing one strip of glue on both sides there, and then I'm going to take that center strip and put it aside. I may be able to use it for something else later, but it doesn't have that strip of glue. I'm only putting one strip of glue, so when I cut it, there won't be a strip of glue on the other side, and that middle strip will unravel. So as I did this, yes, I got some glue coming through onto my cutting board, not a problem. Take my little mini spatula that I use for everything and just scrape that little bit of glue up and toss it in the trash. No big deal. Okay, so you don't want to use these cutting boards though if you're going to burn your mesh. That's not a good idea. You want to get something that can take heat. Okay, so I did that strip of glue going all the way up my 4 feet length. So, oh no, I didn't finish here. I'm sorry. I got some more glue to put on here. So I'm going to continue making that little strip of glue all the way down. Thought I had finished. And then we're going to be ready to cut this into strips. So on the side there you'll see some ribbon. I had some bling ribbon from Dollar Tree, decided not to use that. But there's also like this little gold cord. I will be using that later in with my wreath. Alright, so I got this glue strips, I got it cooled down, and now I'm just cutting the strips so that I'm on the other side of that glue, and that way when I start wrapping it around the frame, it won't be unraveling and falling apart, because this is it's not tightly woven. You can kind of see the holes right through it. You can see that green color of the board right through it, so you know it's got a lot of open space in its weave. I was so glad I remembered I had this mesh though. I think it's beautiful for trying to do something that has like a little bit of an Irish what do you call it, Irish look to it, I guess. I did look online to see if any kilts were made with these exact same colors. I didn't find any, but it does carry the same idea. So what I'm going to do is start wrapping this around my wreath frame just like I would if I had ribbon. And you've seen me do that many times before, except that now this is mesh. Now the side that's glued is the side that will be on top as I wrap it around. So the piece that's underneath there, that's going underneath, it's going to be the raw edge. And then when I wrap it around, the piece that's kind of to your right, see how it's going to be on top? That's the piece that has the glue strip on it, so that it won't, like I said, it won't be unraveling. So as I wrap myself around here over and over again, that is like I said, on top each time, and it will stay together. Okay, so like I said, you've seen me do this many times before. I didn't do all the pleating and stuff like I've done in the past to get a super smooth look, because it's a plaid. You can't really tell if there's like some gathers or some folds in it. It kind of just looks good no matter anyway, even with that. So I just started working my way around here, and I'm going to continue to work my way around until I finish the whole wreath. If you're new to the family, I just want to welcome you. Again, I'm Kay's Creative Home. Welcome to our family. And if you want to be notified about future videos, please be sure to ring the bell and make sure that you click the subscribe button and ring the bell, and that way you can get notified as new videos are released. And if you think someone else would like to see this idea, please share the video, and that way others will hopefully learn some new technique that I may show, and that way they can make some beautiful wreaths of their own. Now, if you're not a wreath maker or you're not a crafter, I do sell my wreaths in my Etsy shop, and it's the same name, Kay's Creative Home. And if you look down in the description box, you will see a link to that right there in the description box. I recently realized that I do have enough subscribers that I could list my items right here from YouTube, and I just got to figure out how to do that. I think I still have to create a store on another platform, so I'm going to do some research into that and see if that's possible. If not, like I said, it's always available in Etsy. Okay, also, while I'm wrapping this around, I want to mention that I trying to decide how we're going to move forward here. I had a lot of things going on last year, so I didn't make a lot of videos. Of course, my income dropped on YouTube, and the number of viewers dropped. It's picking back up again, and I appreciate you all for watching. And now I just have to figure out if I can get my counts back up enough that it's worthwhile. So, I either have to hopefully make enough to cover the cost of the wreaths I make, or sell the wreaths, to get my money back. Right now I'm not kind of balancing out, so I'm kind of operating at a loss, and that's a bit difficult to put all this time and energy into it and still have a loss. But like I said, I'm working diligently to get my numbers back up, and hopefully if you can and you enjoy my wreaths, you'll support me by either watching the videos or going into Etsy and making a purchase there. I do have some Easter things in there right now that I'm selling at a discount. I've got quite a bit of inventory and I need to get it moving, so I have marked down things a lot, and we'll continue to do that throughout the year just to get some of this inventory out of stock. And I know in the future I won't be buying quite as much anymore, at least not for a while, until sales pick up. So what I did there, the first strip I had ran out, and so I just started a new strip again. And again, these were cut in like 4-foot lengths. In the end, I ran out, so if I were doing it over again, I would, because I ended up with 2 strips of 4 feet, I would cut it at 6 feet each, and then I think I would have enough to make it all the way around. Let me see, is that right? Yeah, about 6 feet each. Okay, so let me finish getting this Shamrock wrapped up, and I'll be right back. So I've made my way around the wreath frame, and this last little bit I had about 2 inches I had to finish. So I took that strip that was not glued on the edges, and I'm just folding it in on both sides as I work. And you can see I'm going through the center of the what do you call it, the the stem of my shamrock. I'm going actually through that as I wrap around so that I can get all of this shamrock covered. So I fold in both sides of the mesh, and I came up in between that opening of the shamrock, and you'll see these little threads everywhere because this is what happens when you don't glue the edges. So like I said, I only had like 2 inches to finish, so I decided to use the piece that I did not put glue on, and you're getting a good view of what happens when you do that, when there's no glue or it's not burned, and you'll see it just unraveling as you work with it. It's just coming apart. So I figured I could handle it though for this little, I had to go around maybe three times just at the bottom here. Okay, so I folded in my raw edges. They are tucked in underneath, and now I am about to cut it. And then you will see right there how I just had it folded in on both sides and tucking it under. I'm going to put a strip of glue on here and hold it down until it adheres, and we will be finished this part of our wreath. So the next thing I want to do is wrap my stem, and I decided to use this gold cord that I had. I thought about trying ribbon, but my only gold I had was really sheer. So you'll see it when I make my bow. I didn't think it would be a good stem. So this cord I have, it's a nice gold, and I didn't have to go buy anything else. So first I just put a little touch of glue there, and then I went down the stem a little bit, and you'll see how I'm holding the string. So I put it so that it'll hold the end in place, and then when I start wrapping, I'll actually be wrapping around that. So that's the end of the cord that I put going down the stem, and now the length of the cord I'm going to just start wrapping. And when I started out, I did a little bit of time so I could really hold it in place and make sure it adhered, and I didn't want a huge gap as I was wrapping it, so I had to get it started. Again, a few drops of glue will do that at a time, a few drops at a time, and just holding it in place, making sure it sticks, and then you'll be ready to move on and continue to wrap your stem. So again, if you're enjoying the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. And if you're not a family member, don't forget to hit the button and ring the bell so that you can be notified as I release new videos. So like I said, we're going to continue to wrap this stem, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next thing. So the last thing we're going to do is make our bow, and I'm using 4 ribbons from Sam's Club. Again, I will get these 5 ribbons, excuse me. I'll get these listed in my Etsy shop. Today is Sunday the 18th of February, and I will have them listed either this evening or by tomorrow the 19th. And I'm sorry they're not in there ahead of time. I try to do that, but running a little behind. So again, as I was showing the ribbon, the one that's the plaid, the green and gold, that's actually a Christmas ribbon. I'll point that out when I get to it. So I decided to do a 8-inch tail, and then I'm going to make 6-inch loops. If I had it to do over again, which I will because I'm thinking about making another one of these, I will probably make it start with 5-inch loops. The 6-inch loops made the bow a little wide for me, and I would like it to be a little bit smaller. So again, I think I'm going to make this wreath for my own front door for the month of March. So I'm going to go ahead and do that next time. So just a hint to you, you may want to try that if you make this wreath. Or if you even make something else on that frame, you might want to start with a smaller bow. But try it and see what happens. Alright, so this is the ribbon I was saying was actually a Christmas ribbon, but I thought it fit in really nicely with the mesh I was using. So it's got the green and gold. I wish it had a little bit of black in it, but hey, can't have everything. So I've got my green and gold to coordinate with the mesh I'm using. So again, I started with an 8-inch tail, and this one is also 6-inch loops, and I'm only doing 2 loops with each ribbon. and cutting the tails, and I'll come back and cut those fishtail those or dovetail the ends once I have it on the wreath and kind of see how short I want them to be. So the next ribbon I'm going to add is going to be this black and beige or creamy color ribbon, and it is 1.5 inches wide, again 8-inch tail, and now I'm coming in 1 inch, so this is going to be a 5-inch loop. And just to kind of say how I do my bows, the green and beige, as you can see, that was the 2.5-inch wide ribbon. See how I've separated them so they're kind of each in their own little place. And then when I put the next one on top, that black and beige, I kind of line the black and beige up with the green and gold. You'll see that more later when I kind of shape it. Yeah, I'm trying to decide here how it's going to go. So yeah, black and beige kind of laying on top of the green because it's shorter, you can still see the green. And then when I come back in with the solid green, that will go on top of the beige. And I did that because I didn't want the narrow green on top of green and gold. It's just, you know, the same color. So that's how I kind of decide how my tails and loops will go. This green one again, 8-inch tail and 5-inch loops. Still just doing 2 loops for each ribbon. So now you see as I'm kind of arranging it, I'm putting the green on top of the beige, the 2.5-inch beige ribbon. You'll see them kind of lining up together. Okay, so it takes me a minute sometimes to get everything coordinated, get everything right, and to make sure this ribbon doesn't lift up off of the bow maker. I am considering buying another bow maker. If I do, I'll let you all know about that. It's a really nice one. It's a really nice price, but I think it's going to be worth it because it comes with so many accessories. So if I do that, you'll be seeing me with it in the future. What I like about using this one though is that, you know, it's something everyone can afford. I got mine on sale, I think for under $10. So even if the price has gone up over the last few years, it's probably going to be about $15 to $20 or so. You can get it at Michael's and a lot of the craft stores. It's the Easy Bow Maker, and I like using it because it's something everyone can afford, and I can demonstrate how to make the bows on it. So this last ribbon I'm putting on top is the gold. Again, it's sheer. This is the one I thought about using for the stem of my Shamrock, but I thought it was too sheer. Still gave it an 8-inch tail, but this time I came in again and made it a 4-inch loop. 4-inch loops on both sides. Okay. All right. So as usual, I forgot to put my pipe cleaner and zip tie underneath my bow before I made it. So put the little ruler there just to hold everything in place so that ribbon doesn't start popping up. So I got to grab a pipe cleaner. The pipe cleaner is what will attach the bow to my wreath, and then I got to grab a zip tie, and the pipe cleaner goes sideways like the length of the bow maker. You see I'm going to slide it underneath all of that ribbon, and I'm going to try to remember in the future to do that first so you can clearly see it. I don't know why I always forget that part. I guess I get excited about making my bow. So I've got that going all the way across, and then the zip tie went underneath everything else but coming the sideways. See how it came around right there? So I got it snug, and then I lift my ribbons up and trying to hold them in place, and then kind of spin that zip tie around to the back. Make sure it gets right into the center of all those loops, and begin to shape them before I pull it too tight, and then I will pull it super snug. You see me again trying to line everything up? Bit of a perfectionist when it comes to this. I want, again, like I said, the beige, the solid beige and solid greens to be lined up together, and then that green and gold and the black and beige to be lined up together. So I'm working on that, getting everything in place, and then I will pull that zip tie really snug and cut it, and go ahead and finish shaping again and getting this attached to my wreath. So here's my zip tie gun. If you want more information about that, I think I have a link in the description box. I'll try to make sure I do. And you just pull it a few times. Don't pull it completely back. Just pull it a little bit, and it'll tighten everything up. And then when you're ready to cut, you pull it completely back. Pull that little handle all the way back, and it will cut your zip tie. Now I'm going to just mention this. I cut it out of the film when I edited, cut it out of the video when I edited it. But when I was dropping that zip tie to cut into the trash, it fell on the floor. When you're making a wreath and you drop things on the floor, please stop and pick it up. Zip ties, ribbon, all of this stuff is like silky. Well, for me, against my wood floor, if I were to step on that, I would go sliding down. So we don't want any accidents or mishaps. So pick that stuff up while you're still seated. You can reach it on the floor, and you can avoid some clumsiness in your life. Okay, so just a little tidbit there to keep us all safe and healthy so that we can make more crafts. All right, one of the things I do in shaping my bow is to not only puff up my loops, but to kind of curve all of those tails. See how they're in a nice little curve shape? That just makes your whole bow come to life. So I decided to pick one side of the Shamrock right in the corner there, and I'm attaching this bow. And like I said, I mean, this bow could go so many places because you got three parts of the Shamrock, and then you got the stem. So you could do a lot of things with it. If it was at the bottom near the stem, I think this bow would be the right size. But like I said, now see how I'm shaping everything with that rounded effect? Yeah, I'm not just pulling it. I'm kind of going in at a curve so that it gets a rounded shape. So now, like I said, now that I can see where everything stops, I am clipping my ends, and then again continuing to round them, round the ribbon at the shape of the ribbon so that it makes a nice little bow shape, I guess you would call it. Okay, so I'm gonna get all of these cut, and this will be, we're almost finished. You know, I like to share pictures of the finished product and show you what it looked like on a few different color doors, so you'll have that to see. Again, check the description box if you are looking for the link to my Etsy shop, or a link to like the zip tie gun, the one I have here. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. And sometimes I even go back and make something else a little different just to answer your questions, because I want to be as helpful as possible. That's the reason I'm on YouTube, to help others. We're all learning together, but whatever I know, I'll help you with. Okay, so I'm going to finish this up, like I said, show you some pictures, and I want to thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll be talking with you again real soon.